Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come
for developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come
for developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
We now independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize, and inform Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey here so for talk, but wetin dey happen? Political discussion.
You for know about Salon politics.
Religious messages, entertainment self no go left bien.
We no go left nothing bien no.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come
for developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come
for developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation Salon.
This not the team them where we dey talk about
Sierra Leone political history,
defeating the lives of fake people.
waiting they be na social media.
One-on-one interview, we go bring you all the hot topics.
Unity Broadcasting TV say,
and we like we say.
We like we say FM Better Salon. So we'll take welcome to this third edition of the program Unity Broadcasting Morning Show. Yourself within your house, no say they watch we through we 48 Shaka Stephen Street via we Facebook and YouTube channel. We also do on TikTok and of course we get WhatsApp and Instagram. Me your name now Elizabeth Kefwegembe. This morning we get inside the studio. Lawyer Victor Idrissa Lansana and the Deputy Commissioner for Human Rights. He go come and tell we waiting on the go on at the commission. As we don't see of recent 2024-25, they don't pass a bill. That bill, it go can't tell we how the rights of Sierra Leoneans then uphold. We don't also see the overcrowding of the police cell and the prison. That's also man say na human rights because some cases they don't over delay. And of recent, we see where lawyer Lansana Dumbuya also gets a tag. That tag, where according to the All People's Congress, then decide and call and say, nah, then constitutional rights then hang on. Victor Idrissa Lansana, we na the Deputy Commissioner, he go talk to we about things then with this around. Good morning and welcome to Unity Broadcasting.
Good morning, it's a pleasure. For the very first time.
All right, then lawyer Victor Lansana, we come for talk to Sierra Leoneans about happenings and human rights abuse inside Sierra Leone. The question will go ask whether this rights of Sierra Leoneans then, the Human Rights Commissioner, they really work towards that. So like I tell you this morning, it come for talk to we go start with Lansana, we go start with the passing of the Act rights that it prohibits the early child married. This look great na paper, but the ordinary citizen go feel like say actually me small sister within a pujon. He go look and say this na something we good for her, or it just to ensure the rights of citizens within this part of the country when a free town.
Well, thank you very much. You know, we have a country we know the in short supply of law. We get laws them, legal framework. I would say we don't do so well in that regard. But then, I mean, let nobody not take a light because now the legal framework now in any country, and they make sure see we're not able for as a country for develop, and they make sure see people know what for do, what not for do. So the Early Child Marriage Act now born out of the fact say in our country for a very long time we get people picking away they dey subject to early marriage. And we know say, I mean, picking up for married. So anybody with dey under the age of 18, really not for married. If you pay attention to school, develop yourself, and then become a very responsible citizen. But in we, particularly with rural communities them across the country, we don't see over time how then they subject small picking them, even families them. You know, we poor. Then they take the girl picking them. Then they use girl picking them as a commodity for get something for take care of the family. And at the end of the day, when they happen, you know, it deprive the picking of the opportunity for get in future secured, because you need to go to school, you need to pay attention to the school. But when you put it into early marriage now, it becomes difficult for one to make it continue. That in border or two, they born them or they're not the same house. In border, they continue for going to school. In don't left, they don't go into marriage. In border, become somebody in society, while it's still, you know, not able. And in many cases, the man that they married to can abuse them a lot. So it tells you, and by the way, I mean, the female population in this country are the highest. Okay, we got more women them than man them. So it's injustice for we subject the bigger sect of the population to such kind of thing them, because that girl bikini become big woman. Okay, so that is why advocacies them over years don't talk say we need for make sure say we get a law where go protect or prevent that early marriage they were don't talk about. So I mean, yes, the first lady come in, this was really her own effort. It take them up, get a huge advocates around them, and then at the end of the day, government decide for looking to them, and then they pass the law. So why is that law in place now? The next thing now we make sure say we're able to implement the provisions of the law, because that law they even tell you say you will put the pikin, you subject the pikin into early marriage, whether na parents or relative, whichever, and you will married the pikin as the man, and you will even get an invitation. You will go per the married. All guilty of having committed a crime. So no matter whether you're a relative or not, as far as you are even part of that gathering, when it's not married, now offense, you don't commit a crime.
But Commissioner, somebody will say, just like the question was asked, whether the law they really reach out to the ordinary citizens in our village or not just here. Reason being, we also they see of recent people then they do after they don't take them, picking them from society, early as then get small bobby, then they give them to man. Una as a commissioner, una get una ace and hands then on deck na them villages then for able supervise whether than they still they happen.
Okay, so quickly I just talk about the Human Rights Commission. Family no say at least this is my first time at the so let you listening population understand say the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone was established. They came into being in 2004 after the war. The TRC, the Total Reconciliation Commission report recommends we need to forget a national human rights institution where you go there for protect and promote people generally, no matter who say they, who say come out, who say political orientation, religious orientation, whether you're a man, you're a woman, whether you're poor, you're rich, as far as you're within the borders of Sierra Leone, we get the responsibility for protect and promote. And this may happen because during the war and even before the war, we don't get any such kind of institution where be serve as a national redress mechanism. In other words, where people feel aggrieved about their rights being abused or violated, who side they for go. So that was what the people that we put together the TRC report see that's not a very huge vacuum, not a huge gap. So they make that recommendation. You see, so, but then in fact, that recommendation had been made when we reviewed the 1978 one-party constitution way back in 1990. But that recommendation not be see the light of day. The president then, President Momo, the government then, no, we actually look at that recommendation there. But there was a whole report where they say we for establish the National Human Rights Institution. So this was far back. But then, fast forward, we get the Lome peace agreements, during the war, that peace agreements, they recommend, say, we need to get a national human rights institution. So then after the war, we get the TRC, and the TRC make a lot of recommendations. One of such recommendations then, now for we set up as a nation, a National Human Rights Commission. So in 2004, governments look at all of the circumstances and all of the recommendations over years, and now agree, say, yes, time for make the establish the National Human Rights Commission. So by an act of Parliament, Parliament passed the law, called the National Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone Act 2004. So that act, they now established by section 2 of the act, established this institution, and then by section 7 in the act, it give functions. You say the commission established for protect and promote human rights of everybody. Okay, so now how do we operate? We get what we call regional offices across the country. So if you go to Waterloo, we get office day. If you go to McKinney, we get office day in the northeast. If you go to Poloko, we get office day. If you go to McKinney, Bo, at the south, we get office day. If you go to McKinney, at the east, we get office day. So office then they across where people normally reach, we able to make sure, say, as well, through the regional offices then we monitor the enjoyment or lack thereof of human rights. But just stop here now. We also work with what we call the district human rights committees then. So district human rights committees then, now a consortium of civil society organizations then, we come together where they under the purview of the Human Rights Commission. So they get presence, physical presence, that almost all the chiefdoms then. So we'll work with them. We also know the way incidents happen, then they always refer to we, and they will now intervene. Okay, because we didn't want regional places them, and the regions them. But then they now go above or beyond the regions them, also establish offices. So once there are issues or incidents of human rights violations or abuses, they call we, and then we will now intervene.
So how often una can excuse me. So how often una can meet for do the evaluations there, whether then abuses then still prevalent in them villages then?
So by the way, also I was going to say we get what we call mobile complaint mechanism. So that mobile complaint mechanism now a way we would be think of would move the commission in services to the doorsteps of villagers, of people within the far remote places. When I born, like me for instance, with my team, we don't take the boats, we don't go through, to bonds and talk to people, cross the river and talk to people. So we have been doing that, we do that, very frequently. So it's a situation where, and again today, we get social media. So people are even reach we through Facebook. We got a Facebook account. So because of social media also, we are able to make sure, say, we spread information, we spread, if you like, with tentacles, for we able to actually serve the people. And people also understand, say, the services they provide are free of cost. So once you reach, we will not ask you for pay for anything. Okay? So, and the commission, they always make sure, say, we do public education through different ways, by social media, like, this kind of discussion we get now, the mainstream media, we do public education so that people don't get to understand. But mark you, we still get remote areas that we not get the opportunity for get access to social media, for get access to radio, to TV. So, but then we still try to make sure, say, like I say, we work with the district human rights committee members them, for them we always reach out to those people and that is what we have been doing, and I'm sure that we outreach really don't go very far and wide in this country.
All right, now let we focus on the prison. The new acts make provision for allow a non-custodian sentence. Why if you say the prison, or why the sentence is so prevalent that the prison cells then overcrowded?
Any way human beings, you expect say that will be one that we will likely break the law. That is just natural. It doesn't matter outside whether you're in the most developed country in the world, in America, in any parts of Europe, you have people who will always break the law. But that is not to say, by the way, that everybody holding a prison is guilty of an offense, because normally in a charge they charge you, there's an allegation they put to you. And we see in many instances society people the way they care going na prison I mean mostly you win the cases then, you know. So basically I'm saying the reason why we get overcrowding, there are several instances, there are several reasons there for that.
So now they work with the judiciary?
Of course, yes, we work with the judiciary.
So what are some of the reasons where you want to tell them?
Yeah, so we work with the judiciary for make sure say we get the judiciary for, you know, fast track cases them where they come to them, because then now they get the judicial power for look at cases them and then make a determination. Okay, so they make sure say the judiciary understand that the work what they do now a human rights job, and that means say that they therefore always approach the work with a human rights lens. So for instance, the minor offenses, traffic offenses, you don't need for jail person for that. Okay, you can always find them. But we're happy to say now we don't get the new Criminal Procedure Act. That new law they don't make sure say then what you call some of the offenses we call petty offenses. They don't, you know, they don't pull like custodial part of them. And we say custodial sentence, it means say where they say if you go to jail. So in that instance, if you're able for make sure say those petty offenses, you merely say okay, do community service instead of going to jail. Okay, go do some cleaning or community service or just give you fine. Then it decongest the prisons. You know, so these are wisdom. These are innovative wisdom. We don't work with the judiciary and the AG's office for make them understand say we can really decongest the prisons and make sure say, I mean, because when you go down to the prison, my sister, I've been in every prison in this country. The majority of the population na young people and they behind bars. So normally, like you say, we future is behind bars, because those young people who are supposed to be out and doing something really developmental or for capacity themselves, they are behind bars. So we need for really approach them with a very seriousness, with a calculated mind for make sure say we're able to get those young people out and then make them sensibly understand say their own personal future. You know, now then for begin for take responsibility for them. Because me and you will not come up heaven for them and they will become what will become right now. But we actually go through what we call the crucibles of life. Okay, the hard times, we're able to withstand them. We're not going to drugs, we're not going to things that we, you know, we peers then we influence, we stay the cause and we make sure say we go through everything, schooling and everything, and now we are here. Okay, so it's the same thing. And normally we can tell and say, look at us as examples, as young people, that you can become anything, anybody saw in life. So once we do that one day, we get them for understand, say, oh, we can get some confessions them. They come to bring, inside the prison, we talk to them, say, pa me, if I come on and again, because what I don't see, so you don't say. And what I don't see, you don't be. I should say, make it be. And it's interesting for those say, many of them will be behind bars. They are really very intelligent, you see, but they are wasting. And unfortunately, we don't get that kind of proper system in place where, you know, where you be behind bars, where you in prisons, you're able to get some skills training. You know, the skills training they in some prisons, but not in everywhere. And then even when they exist, they're not so sophisticated. So it tells you that at the end of the day, if you come out, you don't spend how many years in prisons, you don't serve your sentence, you really come out with almost nothing. Having gained, you don't serve 5 years or 10 years as the case may be.
In that case,
you come back, you come out with nothing.
In that
so you don't waste those 5 years, don't waste those 10 years. You know, there's no capacity added to you. You continue to become a menace to yourself and your family and society.
So in that case, Commissioner, waiting una don't try for reach out to the government for CC, because other developed countries, as Sierra Leone, they strive towards that now. When somebody come on a cell, it go don't be lawyer, somebody don't be carpenter. We don't see some people they come on a cells, immediately they get job. And you just so mention and say a lot of capacity building not they at all and then sells them. The one themselves we did them very minute. As commissioner, we una day for rights of human. Waiting una don't do towards that for make sure say if na donor driven self una they try for rights, so that Sierra Leoneans or the one that within ourselves not go come out again and be a burden to society.
So we have a dwindling, the donor space in not just Sierra Leone, across the world. don't in the past 1 or 2 years don't really shrink because of the kind of new world order. So you see, for instance, US aids don't they park or they even don't park. I mean, a lot of donor agencies then don't they park up, and so it becomes difficult. For instance, we don't pressure the government. I mean, time in time out, successive governments for relocate a number of prisons, to somewhere where really it will be decorous. But here outside this, see, they're almost in the middle of the city. But then government will tell you that, oh, we have written a number of projects or what have you, we're not able to get the sponsorship yet. So, by the way, the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone, now, the services will provide are limited to making sure that we protect and promote the human rights of people. So we are not going to build schools, we are not going to build training centers, we don't have money to do all of those things, and that is not even our mandate. So what we do, we make sure that we engage government on a regular basis and also prepare what we call the state of human rights every year. So that report they show you, they give you a picture, a broad picture of how human rights, we don't enjoy them, or how human rights, have been violated or abused within the course of that year. So once you do so, and then you submit that to president, and then to the representatives of the people in the parliament, we now expect to say they will take steps then for let them go able to address those issues, because it takes really resources. The things that we can put in the report, the engagement we can make, really for let you able to address them, it takes resources by government for able to address those issues. So for instance, if we go to prisons, we can even eat the food, the prisoners the food, the inmates the food. So if I say, oh, so tasty as how it would be for any human, and not just one prison, we'll not different one them, and they will make a recommendation. So government has to improve on the quality of the food. If we need to see the cells them, we'll get overcrowded in the cells. Maybe cell will mean for 5 people and we'll get 20. So we make a recommendation in that regard. It tells you that government get for need for broke and build and rebuild or extend as the case may be. So it takes resources for able to address those human rights issues that concerns them or they put to government. So it's really the business of government. Because by the way, if you look at the 1991 Constitution, Section 5 of that Constitution, subsection 2, paragraph B, it says, the welfare and the security of the people of this country rest on the shoulders of government. That is the national obligation we government gets.
Sure.
The welfare and the security of the people of this country and the business of government. At the international level, under international law, government get the right for protect, for respect, and for fulfill human rights. So for protect and for make sure, say, you put laws in place, you establish institutions them, where people are able for always use for, get their rights and protected. For fulfill human rights, it further means, say, you have to ensure that, for instance, if you create a classroom, the classroom forgets qualified teachers, it forgets learning materials, it forgets things that we go enhance the right to education. For respect human rights, I will make sure so there is non-interference. So if there is a matter in court, for instance, you should not interfere as a state. Because by the way, the state divided, or the government get 3 arms. Okay, we get the executive, we get the parliament, we get the judiciary. Everybody gets in a role. Although there are checks and balances, there are checks and balances, so they make sure say the government run very, very well, smoothly. So the government get the obligation, both internationally and nationally, for make sure say they enhance and promote human rights of their citizens. This it's sacrosanct and it is non-negotiable. And that is why we normally would engage government, would bring the attention to the fact, say, you go out there and you sign up to international treaties, international laws, international conventions and protocols. And then when you turn it back, you come back home, you are not able to implement them, either by way of domesticating them, either by way of making sure that the proper things are in place for the people able to enjoy their human rights. So that in itself, it does not sit well, within the international community for go out there and then sign up and then come back and don't do anything. So it is a continuous process where you continue to engage government and get them to understand, say, they get an obligation. They get an obligation. All as a people anywhere cannot lead ourselves. So that is why we sacrifice for go elect to leaders them. We go on a line, whether on the rain or sun, we team up on a line, we register, and then after a few months, we go back on a line, we vote. We vote for a set of Sierra Leoneans then, where we believe say go able to come and take care of the welfare. So we give the opportunity. I mean, even if it's not so much, but at least you will get some privileges, you know, as a state actor. We will be able to put you in a driving seat for able to provide or cater for the welfare of the people of this country. And that is what we continue to tell governments. You have to take the lead role. I know there is no country will develop without the citizens' their own participation. So whilst we get governments having the obligation for take care of the welfare and security of this country by the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the same Constitution also, people need to understand that it tells us that the state or the government or the country as a whole cannot develop without the people, without the ordinary citizens there. So the Constitution also makes a provision for ordinary citizens under Section 13. Section 13 of the Constitution, it gets to call duties of a citizen. Every citizen gets a duty. There are a number of them.
All right.
Okay? Let me just quickly end up on that. So it tells you, say, you get for be nationalistic. You know, you get for Lex Sierra Leone. You get for always support Sierra Leone as against any other international interest. Okay? I mean, these days we see people and they put everything on social media about Sierra Leone, creates a very bad picture of Sierra Leone, but at the same time, you want people, donors for come, or for come invest into your country, investors for come. How would they come where you not the same person, they go on social media, they paint a very bad image of Sierra Leone. So it's not magical. It tells you, say, also under Section 13, say you have to be patriotic. We've seen in many instances, whether people will work for governments, they say, oh, these are government property, they don't care, they don't do anything, they need to make sure they take care because they believe say, it's not their own personal property. So you have to be patriotic and nationalistic. And it tells you, say, also, under patriotism, it says the love of Sierra Leone. This is what the Constitution says. The love of Sierra Leone, it says for supersede, you write and say, for supersede, or if you go above, the love we get for your religion, the love we get for your political party, the love any other love we get. It said the love we forget for Salone, if for supersede every other love. But unfortunately today, we have a system where people can get much love for the political parties then, the political allegiances then, than the love we get for Sierra Leone. So you could see, if you look at the space now, for a very long time, it has been only about SLP APC. You know, not really about the citizens of this country. Now look, we have 8 to 8.5 million people in this country. Every election, just check the last election what they do. We don't have about 2.5 million people voting in this country. We get 7 or 8.5 million people. We don't have over 2.5 million voting. So what did I tell you? They tell you, say.
But if you think of the age gap for voting,
yes, it's not about really who qualifies to vote. I'm trying to put out there. I'm trying to say that the bulk of the population either not get interest in politics, they are not even qualified to vote, they don't have anything to do with politics. But they are going to suffer for the very few who they make decisions for them. That is the point I'm making. So people always need to understand, say, it's not just about politics all the time. We have to really cater for the welfare of people of this country.
All right. Commissioner, now we look at this. You don't talk about government and responsibilities of also Sierra Leoneans. But again, critics of this government, current government, it talks, then they use the prison cell as a dumping ground for people that way they not like at all. Either the one that way they know they talk the same language, the one that way they know they see eye to eye. I want to ask Commissioner, from then critical walls there will the arena na the ground. How wanna don't work towards that for make sure say the rights of the citizenry, like where you don't explain, so everybody gets rights. Say government not trample on their own rights for just to dump them and sell as they wish.
I wish I were a government spokesman. I'm not. So I'm not going to speak on.
No, you they speak on the side of the human rights. So then they feel say the cell is used as a dumping ground.
The use of the expression "dump people inside cells," I don't think it's correct. By the way, I don't think it's correct. So by the way, we live in a society we governed by laws, okay, and everybody go for play in rules to make sure say those laws then are respected. So government get the obligation, like I say, for make sure say the security of the people of this country rest on the shoulders them, and they take full responsibility for that. What do we do as the Human Rights Commission when we see any transgression? I mean transgression as in making which governments go over and above its obligation or over and above what the law provide. If government want for abuse the law or violate the law, and then we come and say no, you don't have to do this because this is not what the law says. So basically, that is why we produce annual reports. We produce also we thematic reports them for let we get government to understand. Say, these are the challenges we are having as a nation, in terms of the enjoyment of human rights, and these are the strengths that we have as a state. So we can build upon those strengths and make sure so we try to address the challenges them, because people have to enjoy their rights. And I can understand where you're coming from. We get a situation where the majority of people who go to court, the majority of them, are just ordinary Sierra Leoneans them, where they come into conflict with the law, where they get civil transactions with other Sierra Leoneans them or companies, as the case may be. But what you see coming on to the media, really a minute, a minute of the issues that we go to, or the case that we go to court. And what will come mostly politicians them. The case will be related to politicians them, because why? The politicians them get resources, they get access to the media, so their own case na in the up. But we get hundreds of Sierra Leoneans them, where they come in conflict with the law on a daily basis. There are cases, we desire more in terms of how their cases are being treated, because we want to make sure, say, and that is what we talk to the judiciary about. If I get a case, I go to court, there should be predictability. It should be predictable and be certain that this is not the time I go spend in a court. This will be the likely outcome of the case, because this is not a new case. There is nothing where they go to court today where you don't belong to court before. Every type of case, there is really nothing that has not been said and done under the sun. So there may just be slight dissimilarities then. So we want to see a system who say, everything really predictable. I go to court for this certain matter. This is the nature of the matter. Now this number of time or years or months I have spent. But I should not go to court and then after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, the matter still on. Sometimes people, they even die, they left the case. So that is what we really want to see, a seamless dispensation of justice, so that everybody will get confidence in the judicial system, everybody will get confidence generally in the justice sector, in the justice system. That is what will make, it doesn't matter who comes to power. You don't say the system, they work. You don't need, Elizabeth don't need for call me, say, oh, commissioner, I don't, my brother, they don't arrest Arubayanda, or this and that. But say, in America, for instance, in other countries, say if you park Ubaya, it doesn't matter who you are. You have to pay the fine. Police don't go for calling a corner and say, okay, Lord, arrange them. Or you want to go get your picking admitted in school, you need to call somebody where you sabi for me to admit them. If you get the grade, you know to get the grade. But even when you don't get the grade, you believe say pass the call, you will get call person and then they admit you picking, even when you picking meet the requirement. So that is the culture we have actually over the time. Unfortunately, we don't adopt over time, which is really eating up our country. And we need, as a country, as a people, for move away from that and get a new kind of way of thinking and understand, say, one, everything will be based on merit. People have to achieve anything by merit. The way even how they bring up picking them. If you take your picking, you say, me go register them, me go admit them to a class where you know get the requirements. What are you teaching the child? You are teaching the child right from there that he can always cheat, he can always cheat for making way into society. So all of these are things in where you accumulate them. Now what we get so now, as a nation, and it is really eating up the fabrics of this country. We have to go back and really put this country on a merit-based, system. We say people them with the sweat, people them with the sacrifice, everything, they get the reward. And government need to understand, say, they get a responsibility and they get an obligation for making sure that the system it work for everybody. The system has to work for everybody. It no matter whether or you, it no matter the political party we support, it no matter who come out, you a Peking, a small person, a person we poor. The system has to work for everybody.
All right, Commissioner, somebody go want for know whether you they act freely with no interference or you they take directives from your appointer.
So I have not just me, the commission. We get by the way, I mean, let me just. It's a very good question you ask. The commission is an independent institution. So the National Human Rights Commission is not just a local institution. It is also a national institution. We are a member of different international, regional, international groupings then. We are, by extension, a member of the OHCHR, we are the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, United Nations, Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. And we are being assessed, just as Salon as a state, it's been assessed by its peers, under the Universal Periodic Review under the United Nations. We, as an institution, we are also being assessed. So every 5 years, they assess we have been assessed 3 times now. The last assessment was in 2023. The Human Rights Commission continues for maintaining what we call a grade A status. So we get grade A, we get grade B, we get grade C national human rights institutions. There are others that are other national human rights institutions in some other countries. They are grade B, some are grade C, some can only go grade A, they pull them back to grade C, as the case may be. So we, by our act, we are in an independent institution. And then by the international documents under which we are created, we call them the Paris Principles. The Paris Principles clearly protect the independence of every national human rights institution across the world. Okay, so that is why, I'm back clearly to your question, that is why when we operate, we jealously protect our independence. So we have complete total independence. We are fortunate. There has never been, over these 6 to 7 years we will serve, there's never been where we are having a call from a minister, a businessman, a private businessman, so no can monitor with institution or company, or no can do this, or president will call you, or vice president will call you, or member of parliament will call you. No. We are independent to the core. The only independence we cannot achieve is financial independence. Because what does it mean? It means a government will pay. It's a government established institution. I tell you, when I start saying, the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone was established by an act of parliament. Okay, the parliament established way. So our salaries of our staff are being paid by government. Our government pay all of the, we rent them. Okay, our government gives subvention for labor for one institution. But in fact, even in the financial non-independence, we have some form of independence, financially. So now, what does that mean? It means now we pay the salaries of we staff them. So while governments, other institutions them, government will pay salaries to them directly. So we, government, they put money inside we account, then I will not be able to use them for pay salaries of we staff them. When government come, this government come in 2018 or so, they begin to talk about national treasure, single treasure accounts.
Correct.
Yes, we didn't say everybody for migrate into them. No, we said no, we cannot. Because we are an independent institution. We cannot go into that single treasure account. We want for maintaining we independence. So that is why, in fact, sometimes, or mostly, in fact, we salaries that we not go receive them early. We will be inside, the 6th day or 7th day, even the 7th day of the new month. Why some other people they don't pay? So we will talk to finance. Finance will say, okay, until we say we don't have to remain as single as you are or as independent as you are. So we don't go for somebody than this. So we need to pay for other people that say, okay, we say fine, we don't care about that one day. We know, as far as I know, the day people will get with salary. That is all. So we pride ourselves in independence. But then go how would you support this? Because it's not just to say you are independent. You have to support it with really what you do. Now, you have followed me, for instance, representing the Human Rights Commission on a number of fora, whether international, I just come from Geneva and see how I represent the Human Rights Commission. there has never been a point to say we feel reprisal. So when I go to Geneva, so just quickly, we get what we call the Universal Periodic Review, which means that governments or states they review themselves every 5 years. So Salon in turn they reach by this May. Every national human rights institution they present what we call an alternate report, okay, or shadow report, where they show how the government over the 5 years and they, don't actually deal with human rights. So states they recommend say, hey Salon, we don't still look at human rights condition or situation in a country. We believe say we recommend to you say do A, do B, do C. So there will be several recommendations. For instance, 2021, there were about 258 recommendations then we come off from different countries then to Salon. Salon be accept 216 of those recommendations, and they note 58 of those recommendations. So Salon now is ripe for another assessment. So what will they do as a national human rights institution? Would they make your report independently and submit them, to the UN Geneva office, and then Salon as a state or as a government will present their own state reports.
So now they do compare notes?
At all. I remember one or two senior government officials they asked me, say, can we see your report? That's an abomination. You cannot see our report until it is published by the UN office. So when I went to Geneva last week, we made a statement. I make a statement on behalf of the Human Rights Commission. Lay the issues then very, very bare. The reports, the statement we make, it didn't social media, it didn't we accounts them, it didn't websites, so people don't get access to them. Back home, you don't see how we don't fearlessly really put government and all government accountable. I remember the former AG talk on Geneva say, even though the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone can really be a thorn in the flesh, but they say they don't get option. They just need to continue for work with the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. And we are an institution we don't even put, by the way, the military and the police. We don't put them, before the public on oath. We do to call public inquiry into the conduct of law enforcement officers in 2023, 2021, 2023 years. We look at a period of 7 years, from 2015 to 2021. Okay, look at the period of 7 years, how human rights, over the time have been enjoyed or not, because we only receive a lot of complaints. So the Human Rights Commission gets, apart from the act, we get the complaints regulations. We see if there is a systemic violation of human rights, and by the reports they receive, or the complaints they receive, we can do a public inquiry. So we do that public inquiry. We say we receive complaints against the police, against the military. Now, we serve the complaints them to all of the police and the military. And then we now begin go from one place to the other, from one region to the other. We go to McKinney, we sit down there as like a court, because we get the powers of the High Court. So we sit down like a court and give you Bible or give Quran, as the case may be, if you're a Bible person, even a Quran person. So we had military officers coming to testify, brigadier generals coming to testify, police officers, although not all of them participate, but we get police officers who come and testify, and defend the complaints that we people make against them.
So in that case, if we find them wanting, waiting will be the
exactly
the
fine. So at the end of the day, we produce a report.
Okay.
And we present it to them. Say, this is the report. This is what we don't find out from all the inquiries across the country. And I remember we find the police, I think 300 million as the old loans, 300 million old loans. The military, I think around 120 or 200 million. I cannot actually now give you the correct figures. So we find the money then there. But from up to now, we're not able to forget them for pay. We get a situation where the girl picking, the picking was 17 years old. In Kenema, there was this fracas between the Bike Riders Association and SLRSA. So at the end of the day, tear gas, misruled, fired the picking in face. in your eye they don't go one, it don't lost in one eye. So we say and say like clear violation. I mean, this child could not go to school anymore. We get some stigma, in school. So you have to pay compensation to this child because they have to give you that responsibility. I mean, that power. They say when you get a human rights violation, you don't do an inquiry, you don't do an investigation. You can actually give orders, make orders, for making them pay.
In that case, we do not pay it.
Exactly.
Don't make any
so what we are doing now, we are now filing papers. We are going to take government to court and forget government for really account or for respect the recommendations, not the recommendations. Forget government for respect the orders them, who put inside that report there. Very soon the papers will be filed. Very soon papers will be filed because they are now drafted.
All right.
So I have, a plethora, hundreds of bundles of examples for GISE. We are an independent institution. We are not, nobody know the control we operations. So operationally or operational wise, we are quite independent. And we call on Sierra Leoneans them they continue follow the commission, trust the commission. A lot of people get a lot of things they foresee. When policemen do something, say, oh, sir, you might commission be there. By the way, we don't have powers to arrest. We don't give guns. We don't give weapons. Okay? So we cannot arrest. All we can do now for make sure, say, we call them out, investigate the situation, and then make recommendations and get the police for do what's correct.
All right. Commissioner, I ask this question because you are a lawyer, and that, I believe, say, if a fall under your confines. I want to know, according to the Sierra Leone Constitution, if protests are allowed in a democratic state. And if so, why is it that particular constitutional rights they don't breach them, actually this government?
Yes. You say if protests are allowed. So by the way, this is a very strong, a very good question. People don't understand, see, there is no word like protest in our constitution or in the Public Order Act to make provision for, possession. So now,
so waiting at the word where they inside our constitution, make and clear as a lawyer, let them know.
Yes.
Not to protest, now waiting a possession.
Possession, demonstration.
Okay.
Okay. But let me just make a clear statement on human rights generally. So there's no human rights with absolute. What does that mean? It means say there are limitations to the enjoyment of human rights. If you look at the Constitution of Sierra Leone, when you take chapter 3, all of the rights them way the Constitution actually attempt for safeguard, they all get subsections. You get the substantive provision and again you get the subsection. So the subsection they tell you under which circumstances then those rights then will be limited. The enjoyment of the right will be limited. Okay? So when you talk about possession or demonstration, the Constitution make provision for that one day. Okay? First of all, it tell you say every individual, every person get the right for belong to any group for actually protect the interest.
Associate.
Okay? No, you get the right for associate yourself or for belong to any group or association. Okay? And when I get the right for assemble and process peacefully, that is what the Public Order Act will tell you now, and then for promote an interest. So there is the right that the law gives. So whether it's under the African Charter of Human and People's Rights, whether it's under the ICCPR, International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, these rights are there. Okay? But then there are instances where those rights could be actually limited. The enjoyment of them will be limited. Now, the back and forth we only get with the police over time is that the police, a lot of times the way people go right and say they want permission for go out for process and then talk about the interest, the police automatically say no, we need to do them. Why you need to do them? Because you say for the safety of the public or for security reasons. But first of all, we are saying you have to approach it with the human right based approach, the human right lens. When you receive the request, by the way, the police get the responsibility for provide security for people. If somebody or a group of people want to go do protest or want to go do possession or demonstration, remember say there are hundreds or thousands of others who are daily commuters of the rules. We're not busy, we're not get interest. They want to go school, they want to go open a shop and sell. They want for go na market. They want for kind of na unity broadcasting station for can work. So they don't get anything for do with protest or the possession. So the police, the responsibility for provide security for both the demonstrators and the one away that the ordinary commuters of the road, even vehicular movement, you know. So that is why you invite people, that is human rights approach, invite them, come to the table, you agree on the different routes them or routes they want for use. Okay, let's say PZ from Eastern Police, you want to come through to PZ. How na for use, whose time una for use, whose time can assemble, because you have to have somewhere you can assemble and then address the people in a way all day into the demonstration or to the procession. That is how it should be. It's not for you to to firstly just dismiss people the request and they say, oh, there's security breach, there will be security breach, there will be likely security breach. When really, you have not discussed that with people. How would we know? And then also, we don't see instances outside the police go give permission to one set of people who want for do the possession or demonstration and then deny another set of people there. So clearly you are not being fair. So that is what we have been saying to the police. You have to really dispense your role with fairness. You have to be fair to this group and be fair to this other group. You cannot give this one and say, okay, go ahead, but this one you say, no, there is security breach. That will be likely security breach. That is not the best way to go. All
right, Commissioner, looking at the police, you just made mention. That brings me to another question. We don't see then they do warrants of arrest, then they do arrest without no warrants. As a commissioner, one of you said this also not good for the nation because it can spark out anything, and some man go feel like say the human rights is highly trampled upon.
No, I don't know what's exactly what we're talking about.
Police, no, una as a commissioner, what una they do?
The police
regards.
The police can arrest you, by the way.
Without no warrant?
Yes, the police can arrest you without no warrant.
So why una as a commissioner, what una don't do towards that? And why police for arrest without a warrant? So grave that person go don't do, they not go warrant and then just go arrest.
No, the question if you ask, does the law make provision for police to arrest without warrant?
No, that's it.
Yes.
We don't they see, then they arrest individuals without any warrant of arrest.
Yes, I'm saying to you.
So why as una commissioner, una don't do towards that? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm saying to you.
All right.
Okay, I'm saying to you. The police can arrest without warrant. In other words, it is legal. Illegal for the police arrest you. You see, you urinate another street down here. Shaka Street openly. Police can arrest you. Or if you say you try for kill somebody else, you try for choke. You need for go take warrants for can stop you for
no, in your
stabbing.
House, as you don't have a house, police can with no warrants, then come for car arrest me. Have you not seen that?
So the context
it's so prevalent of recent.
So if you don't create the context,
so that's what I'm saying now. I don't put in the context now. Police they go arrest individuals then at their house, at their working place without no warrant. Una as a commissioner, what una don't do follow una tackle cases like that?
So let me unpack this whole thing. Now
that's why you're here.
Yes. Now, if I'm in my house, police want to go do arrest or a search. You have to produce for me a search warrant. We give the authority for go into my house. Okay, you have to produce them. And if you don't produce it, then it becomes a matter of the law. For I get me lawyers then for intervene and make sure say what you try for do so is not correct and you are stopped. But generally you need to understand say there are instances where the law creates or give authority to the police for arrest without even having a warrant. I've just made mention of maybe two. I say if somebody they wet the unit outside there in an open place, police only for go get warrant. Or you see somebody they try for stabbing, comping. You don't need to go take a warrant of arrest before they can arrest you. By the time they can arrest you, the crime has been actually committed. Or somebody don't escape from prison. They notice this and the person will escape from prison, they try for hide. And then the police see them. The police can arrest you without even a warrant. So there are several instances. But those instances where you need to get warrant, for go arrest the person inside something a day, it's the obligation of the police for make sure say before they go, they get the warrant. And if they don't get the warrant, that means they don't go against the law. So that is why the country is a country of law and order. And that make always what they say, we have to allow the rule of law for prevail. Because where the rule of law prevails, that police who may have done so can be brought to book. So that others they go see and say, oh no, I have my limitations. The law creates limitations where I can arrest without warrant and where I can arrest with warrant. So if instances arise where I have arrest with warrant, I have to produce the warrant before I can go ahead and arrest. So what we normally do, I mean, as the commission, is to get the police. By the way, we create a lot of opportunities for the police, I mean, for training. We have done a lot of trainings for the police to make them understand, I mean, how human rights and the law actually combine, which are the meet, and which are the duties them, whether in terms of providing security for elections, providing security for processions, providing security, I mean, doing their work in terms of this arrest we talk about. So we have been, there are several modules that we don't train the police on. And we believe, say, it is our hope that the police will be able to improve. But by the way, you know, you see police, they normally do recruitment. So the training therefore be continuous for make sure, say, we bring them up to speed. Even when we don't benefit from the training, it's also very good for where we do get crasher trainings them, refresher trainings them, so that you will get back your mind to what really na the law, or what you are expected to do when you are on duty. So people, I mean, the police officers, they go for understand, say, those who are in the police, go for understand, say, today you can be in the police. You think because of the uniform, of the gun, you know, you are protected. But tomorrow you will not be there. Whether you resign, whether you retire, whether, I mean, you have another opportunity to go out or anything else, you might not be there. But you will want the same police for many protect you, or for many protect your relative. So it is when you are there, when you have the opportunity, now you try to make sure, say, the institution is, I mean, properly run. The institution is actually they up to speed, they up to tax. But if you don't contribute for making the institution very, very weak, how would you want that institution to assist you when you need the assistance after you don't left them? Whether for help your cousin, whether for help your brother, your paddy, anything like that. So you have an obligation. Everybody, by the way, every state government official or officer gets the obligation for me to make sure, say, when you are in office, that is the only time you can protect yourself when you are out of office. It is not when you are in office, I mean, it's not when you are out of office you protect yourself. No. The things you do today, the laws you pass today, will protect you when you are out of office. I mean, maybe this looks very complex, but simply put, it means, say, if bad laws are made, if bad precedents are being set, then they will haunt you when you're out of office. But then if the practice is so good that they will protect you when you're out of office. If the laws are so good, they will protect you when you're out of office. So I will always call upon, I mean, everybody. Doesn't matter whether you hold a political office, or just you are a civil servant or public servant, the ordinary public servant. You have to understand that you have an obligation in your little way for make the required, you know, improvements where you need for let the country go work. This country not going for work just by the president alone. It's not possible. My lady, look, we have a huge problem with service delivery, for instance. Service delivery. For a number of years, successive governments, we don't able for make sure, say, we provide services seamlessly. So whether it's about passport, I'm happy now today. I see yesterday I see the Road Transport Authority. I mean, the one that would provide how they call license, driver's license. They don't decentralize. You know, but we have a country who says service delivery. You want information, you want documents from different institutions. Them, you get for take you. Someone you go die, you don't resign or you don't retire. You know, if you die, you don't resign, just retire. I mean, you don't retire. Forget in asset benefits. It will take you time. It will take you forever. I mean, what kind of system is that? We have to have a situation where things really just work seamlessly, without you having to call Commissioner Victor Lansana, without having you to call Elizabeth, say you didn't help me. The system should work for us. I want passport, I want license, I want document from Ministry of Lands. I go to court for no say, my matter for take within 6 months. They don't dispense, they don't determine them, and then I walk away. That is how the system should work. Everybody should understand, for no say, when I do this will be the repercussion. I'm not going to be protected just because my brother, na minister, na commissioner, or na opposition politician, he don't big in the political space, so they will protect me just because of influence. We want a system where they work for everybody, and there should be a seamless dispensation. This one, we don't even need money from IMF, from World Bank, from whichever donor partner. No, we don't. We only need for change. We psyche, we mentality, and we approach to work. That is all we need. Not else. We can really pick the low-hanging fruits. Pick the low-hanging fruits for make things then work out for we all. I mean, if people are just in the past, look at the city today. Our city is so filthy. You take you feel from you host, you dump on the streets, and then you say government. Come on. So we have as a nation, we therefore really understand. See, everybody gets an obligation. Government gets the bigger obligation because they don't get the resources. I mean, even if the resources not enough, I'm not saying enough, but they get the now they for set the example. Ordinary Sierra Leoneans, them wherever it is, civil servant, public servant, or I mean, business people in Abacha streets, wherever, Afodu markets, McKinney, wherever, you need to understand, see, you get an obligation. We get the responsibility for make the country better by the things that we do. If the things that we do, then they improve the country, then, I mean, our generation, of course, the young generation, we are now a spend force. But we need for work for, like we say, let we be quick, let we give the country to picking them. We're really deserving, we're befitting of them.
All right, the program now, Unity Broadcasting Morning Show, I get Commissioner Victor Lansana, Idrissa Lansana inside the program where they tell we about human rights. Now, the nation, I pose the question to them whether indeed this still work, but we still there on the program. I go put this question to them now when the constitutional review process is day on. Many Sierra Leoneans get worried about the shrinking space, especially for political dissent. Now, as a commissioner, how I get for ensure a healthy democracy in our country?
You know, I like journalists. Journalists, they're so sensational. The way I can put questions them or when I preamble them, like, no, look, this country is a peaceful nation. Yeah? Take them from me, it's a peaceful nation.
It is, but have you seen the recent emergence, right?
Remember 2023? 2023, some hooligans that want for kind, take you back to the dot guns, take you back to the dark days. They say, no, they want for overthrow government. We are spoiling all people. Hey, I can't join me. People, they say, no, we are tired. We are tired. We've seen 11 years of civil war don't do to we. We don't see them. Even if some people don't be see them, but they don't hear them, they don't read them, they don't watch them. We don't see what Ebola don't do in this country, so we cannot go back. So Salone remains to be a very peaceful nation. The tension always there between and amongst political parties then. Okay, and that is why this whole thing about constitutional review, you see this amendment bill, it basically limited to issues around elections. And that is my own frustration. We have taken over 20 years trying to review, trying to amend, trying to have a new constitution, repeal the existing constitution, get a new one. But now, we don't go to a stage, to a point, political parties, the two main political parties, government, SLPP, APC, they go to the local side room, they say, tripartite recommendations. Then they prioritize over the bigger picture of the constitutional review process. So now they are trying to pilot it, in the meantime, suspending the bigger constitution. We really now, if we don't put attention to, focus on them and complete them and get a brand new document. But they say, okay, no, it's this issue of elections. The elections were rigged in 2023, and so now we can form some kind of committee that will go into tripartite, blah, 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 and then they get recommendations. They agreed, they disagreed, and now there is this constitution, this amendment bill. Even now, unfortunately, even when they went there, they went to wherever, lock themselves in a room and agree on issues then some of them don't agree to. So those issues that would be even agreed to, the two political parties. Now, we don't get a bill. They come back and disagree back to what they below agree to. So this thing, how would we continue to just be, how would the nation just be about SLPP and APC?
But as a commissioner, they engage them two individuals then for be sure say then they work towards.
So when I saw that bill, the first thing I did, on behalf of the commissioner, for engage the AG. I say, AG, what is happening? I mean, we have a constitutional review process where I believe say for take through, see and through and get a new document. So how are we having a bill of this nature now? We don't pull some parts of the constitution. We can make. You say, oh well, there is this urge for let them get a new the constitution will address issues around elections, because you know from 2023 the elections were conducted. APC say oh, they don't agree, so and so and so forth. So they went and then they get this tripartite agreement, blah blah blah. So they are now trying to make sure that they get a document where you go for address those recommendations. But however, and when I say why not just put them into the bigger constitution, they say it's not possible for let them go for means of the timeline. So the timeline is the problem.
So then why the hurry and why the speed?
No, the timeline for let them complete the bigger constitution.
Okay.
You understand? If they say they for complete them, then these provisions we not go for use them for the 2028 elections. We not go for use them. So it will be the successive government who can able for use them. So that is why they are now saying, okay, we don't pull this. Everything we don't pull so who have a it now based on the elections. Remember I tell you say elections denial, they go and sit down and make agreements them. So now they can now translate into this amendment. But even with this amendment back, you don't get issue back. But anyways, going into the amendments, I understand what the AG say. I mean, that was a very reasonable excuse we give me. Say, if they say they go through with the broader constitutional review process, you not go able for meet with the elections deadline. You know, say election is a cycle. You know, not just the day for elections. So you go for make plans, you know, for make sure say it roll out. Okay, whether it's about registration, orientation, sensitization, everything until election day. So the timeline, as they don't read them out, you're not go able for actually the bigger constitution review, you're not go able for meet with that timeline day. That is why they are having this bill now. But then when you look at the bill, there are really some progressive, amendments that we don't see. For instance, they make provision for, say you can now contest for be a president without going through any of the political parties. Okay, that is very progressive. Anybody can really get, you know, the opportunity for let you stand as an independent candidate for contest for presidential elections. But then the issue we don't get with this review bill, with this amendment bill, now the area of having 3 days for contest the election results, presidential election results, because it's not enough. It's not enough, definitely. Even the 7 days now they exist in the constitution, it's not enough. Yet alone you say 3 days. So we are saying, minimum 7 or 14 days. Now you forgive anybody who thinks they want for contest the elections. Okay? And then the other thing is, when you look at the law, when you look at this new amendment, you see say the Chief Justice or the judiciary now then go receive from ECSL any information about whether when they receive any petition, then they will have to inform. But then my problem is the law does not actually look at a scenario where say if the Supreme Court with the Sidon Party election petition, the presidential election petition, not able for meet up the 14 days, because they give 14 days to the Supreme Court for look into election petition. What happens if the Supreme Court is unable to determine the petition where they will get within 14 days? So they have to go back and address that area. What happens in peradventure the Supreme Court is unable to actually look at the complaint or the petition within that 14 days where they don't give the Supreme Court? So there must be a law, there must be a provision inside that new law day. We go make provision, we go actually address that.
In that case, the country go be standstill.
Yes, exactly. And then also there's this issue of nomination committee. What do they recommend to them? Just use the Human Rights Commission model. Human Rights Commission model, if you look at the act, there's a schedule we attached to them. We talk see the office of the Attorney General Minister of Justice will put out notice to the public where there is vacancy, the one for recruit commissioners of Human Rights Commission. And then members of the public can now recommend people who they think they get integrity, they get competence, they can really work in that office. So when you put out the notice to the public will now do recommendations them. And then go invite una, they go make a short list of the number of people where they actually where they recommend, where they nominate from the public. They will account for interviews. After the interviews, the interview panel, by the way, it consists of different organizations. CSO, they did the women's leaders, women's groups, they did the empowerment chieftaincy, traditional leaders, and did the several others them. Okay, we did that panel lead, that interview panel lead. So at the end of the day, the interview panel will recommend 7 of the people them will come for the interview. And then out of the 7, they gazette them, then they send them to the president. So out of the 7 names that they send to the president will now appoint 5 out of the 7. So then that will be subject to the approval of parliament. So they'll have to go back to parliament. So you could see that the process is very, very long. And those people away, from part of the interview panel, by the way, they are not appointed by the president. They are appointed or elected by their different memberships. So that will say, for instance, the Interreligious Council. Not to the president will appoint for the person for can represent them at the panel. Or let's say bar association, for instance. Not the president will appoint somebody who will come on at the bar association for can represent. It is the bar association and therefore elect a new member. So we are saying that use that model. The model is already, the model already exists. And it's very simple. I don't understand why they want to work out another model where we will say, oh, president appoints those people who can represent the institutions them, now that panel.
So the AG agreed to that?
Yeah, there are some things you say it's very reasonable, and they will make sure say parliament try for actually look at that and see how they go for change them. So.
All right, the program now Unity Broadcasting Morning Show. We take a quick commercial break, and where we come, we go ask Commissioner Lansana. Let's tell we a little bit situation where been surround Lawyer Lansana Doumbouya, even though he's been released now. Stay tuned.
Do you want to enjoy the much needed fiber internet facility for both home, office, and business growth? Then Fastnet Sierra Leone is your answer. Fastnet SL Limited offers you unlimited network with seamless opportunity to surf the internet anyhow with an affordable money to pay for. Our service is fast like a flash, and our bandwidth is the best in Sierra Leone. With Fastnet, your internet doubt is over forever. Also with Fastnet, you will love to enjoy the world of digital reality as much as you can. We are service-oriented, customer-friendly, and we are here to give you the best out of the rest. We are located at Madungo Town, opposite Water Street off Congo Cross in Freetown. For more inquiries, you can contact us on 079-834047, 074-982-125. Fastnet, always connected. Do you want to enjoy the much needed fiber internet facility for both home, office?
Welcome back. The program now Unity Broadcasting Morning Show. Commissioner Lansana, the situation of Lansana Doumbouya, the opposition National Secretary General, they don't release her now, but so the chairman, when Honorable Fode Yansane, he consider and say a breach of the constitutional rights and the freedom of the commissioner. The freedom of the secretary. Yeah. So you, as commissioner for human rights, if you say the nation or the states being trampled on Lansana Doumbouya in rights for deny and bail twice?
As a lawyer, I know I made it say out for no better. There's what we call a matter being sub judice, which means that when a matter is before the court, you get limited opportunity for discussion, because otherwise you will prejudice the outcome of the investigation at the court or the proceedings at court. So such kind of question, imagine I answer now directly, then I go down really undermine the dispensation of justice. I go down prejudice the mind of the presiding magistrate. But just to say that whilst I note that limitation, I believe say also that the politicians, they never help the situation. They never help the country in the sense that they make room for unnecessary tensions. Really, I think we don't pass this stage now. I believe say going forward we need restraints is one. We need for restrain ourselves, you know, and we need political maturity. That is the only way we're able for get ourselves focused on the issues then. Look, make APC and SPP come together for able to provide for we electricity. Many provide for water for all of the drink or do other things and cook and other things then. Many provide for healthcare services. Let them come together and think about how they go able for make we young people and get education, many get jobs, many able to get opportunity for get jobs. These are the real issues. These are the real issues we need for address as a nation. Me and you don't go up in this country with the two water. Up to now, young people, people in Pekin is still the two water. They dampen the opportunity for many for study and get good performances in school. But these are the real issues that we for actually address. Other than then tensions there. So political maturity is very important, and at the same time, restraint also very important. And that I would say in that case.
All right, Commissioner, let's bring you now to we, the media practitioners, or we get media houses. Most times, politicians, then they try for corrupt way. Then they enter into we, they want for align. Sometimes, of late, when you call certain media house, they say, oh, left and I under it, now then they under. So we now, as journalists, if we say we human rights has also been trampled on.
So first of all, you need, if us una media house need to address the issue of alignment. When you say unity broadcasting, what thing will readily spring to somebody's mind?
You go feel say na LCPP.
Exactly. So you have to first of all get people to understand say this is an independent media house. Forget about the name Unity, because Unity really is not for the entire country. Unity signifies, coming together as a nation. That this is not linked to SAPP. That is what in the first place you as a media house put out to the members of the public. And I've been following your programs. I think you have been doing a very fantastic job. You are covering, you are giving everybody every shade of opinion, whether APC, SAPP, everybody, they give them opportunity for me to come and talk to the people. You even cover programs relating to SAPP, APC, everybody. So people have need for understanding for say, your house, your media house is not aligned, it is an independent institution. So talking about whether by politicians trying to get media houses, for align with the modern violation. Violation. No, it's not. It's not human rights violation. So nobody is putting a knife on your throat for say, oh, you have to belong to my party or you have to side with my party. Really no. So really it has to be with professionalism. I think the watchwords then for every media house now professionalism, credibility, and giving the opportunities to the other side for be had. So the moment you try for sway away from that, then it's simple for the members of the public see you as being one-sided. And once they get that kind of perception, then they even lost interest in following your programs. So that is what every media house I will advise, has to follow. Professionalism, and the credibility, giving the other side, making opportunity for the other side to be had. Because there are several sides to a story, 3 sides or more to a story. We have to make sure we hear the other side. And also, the media house today, as you say, that we deviate so much from the human interest stories then. It is so much more of political stories that will bring to the fore. Really living the actual issues that we and the human interest stories then. So we have to recalibrate as media houses for understand say what the people really what matter really to the people them. Now the human interest stories we need for able for bring that to the people them. Other than almost all the time we open radio, you open television, you about APC, SAPP, APC, SAPP, we are tired.
But this is the nation, Commissioner, where if me and you they discuss human rights here now, then somebody else they talk about politics. Who side that human rights say nobody wants to even listen whether in rights being trampled on or not. Then they go who side both states. So that's the nation. So people follow the trend now. Now that make you see that thing happen. So how you feel say we as media houses go to calibrate that?
Look, over the group, the media houses them. Now they set the agenda. Really. Because it is what you bring to them is what they discuss, is what the public discuss.
Correct.
So if you bring anything it's a political thing, now they go discuss. And when we also say now, the mixture of the traditional media and the new media, don't even it don't make the problem become even much more compounding. With bloggers, anybody can just open a blog, you get your WhatsApp, you get your phone, you get megabytes, and then you are a blogger in the next moment. So, and because now there has been so much access to internet, we don't increase the access to internet in this country. So that is why the very first port of call, you take your phone, go on Facebook, go on WhatsApp, go on TikTok. There you don't see the news. And the news there is about APC and SDP. so that is what
All right,
goes.
this is going to be my last question. Somebody will say, justice is only the servant of the highest bidder. And as a commissioner, how you feel say this will be ensured for the poor man where they watch you within a Kobolia? Go feel say, indeed, they need to get confidence in you institutions. Say, in case no go be David and Goliath.
So yes, Elizabeth, that is what I told you. Let people come to Human Rights Commission. By the way, our services are free. Justice not for be served to the highest bidder. I've said over and again, time and again, that we need to get a system where seamless, we go work for everybody. It no matter whether you're in a Kubola, it no matter whether you're a poor man or rich man or wherever you come up from or you support APC or SLDP. The system just need for work for all, for everybody. So that, we get confidence, say, if I work hard, this will be the likely outcome of my hard work. If I'm lazy, this will be the likely outcome of my laziness. That is what the system should be like. So this issue about now we turn or this and that, I think it's not really helping. People get to understand, say we have to work hard. And even let me talk to the young people. I see a lot of young people why they go to do monitoring. Gonna get told them, for instance, young people, they are there, they are addicted to drugs, they take drugs on it. If you follow 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we put out with documentary on Kush. You will see how terrible the situation is. So I talk to young people and say, I'm not a youth anymore. I don't pass 40, but I'm a young man. There was nothing actually I did not do in terms of making sure, not the bad things anymore, but making sure that I'm able to go to school and be where I be today. So me, I sell kerosene, I sell fish, I sell books, I sell, different things then. Different things then. Even at secondary school level, I did that. I had lived in a one-room apartment with me and my mama and my sister then. One room. We are about 5 in that room. There was no parlor. I would sleep on a couch. Okay? So a lot of people in where they see today, they don't just grab and become, they're not coming from heaven or just follow like that. People worked very, very hard. The only thing, sometimes people when they work hard also, when they get opportunity, they forget about why they come out, they forget about the kind of vision they get for help for make the country. But what I'm saying to young people, quit drug addiction, quit kush. You get to understand, say the future lies in your own hands. The duty where you get to yourself, that duty is surpass the duty where government get to you. So make sure, say, you take care of yourself. I went to the Abbas Academy. For a very long time, I was walking to school. Walking to school. Many of the years the way I take the academy. I will come on Kisi for go academy. So, my situation is not unique to me. It is really almost the same with young people who go to school today. But you have to understand that there is always, light at the end of the tunnel. If you just believe, say, if you work hard, you will make it in society. Not go for, not bypass, not cut corners, not believe, say, now way I cheat the system, I go make it in life. No. You go cheat the system, you think, say, you don't pass, but, you don't get the foundation. You don't get the competence. So they try for make sure, see, people and young people understand, see, they get for be resilient, they get for work hard, no matter the situation, the circumstance, we have gone through, very desperate, very deplorable circumstances in this country. We are not having electricity with the study. I study per candle, per lamp, all I study per. Per lamp, all I study per. But today, we only a candle per lamp safe. So at least today, there has been some improvements, you understand? So we are saying to you people that you can make it in life. Forget about politicians. Forget about them. If you see them, me, I don't be go, I don't be pass away, I don't become big man, I don't come to university because I was really focused. You can be the same person. You can be just the same person. You can achieve more than what some of you achieve in life. More than that, if you just focus. So no matter what you don't have prison today, just hope say you can get a better life. You didn't cook today, just believe say, agree to yourself say today I need for left. Will you left, you will be a better person. You didn't have school today, forget about going to parade for play football, left school, you didn't agree for go to school, it escape, it play to and see, it kekui, this and that. It doesn't help you at all. Focus on the education. I'm sure you will be a better person tomorrow.
All right. Indeed, everybody intend for be a better person. That's now Commissioner Victor Idrissa Lansana. We just talked to we. Unfortunately, due to time don't beat we as we head for the Armed Forces Day with invitation, we not going to read one of text messages then. Apologies for that. But plenty thank you to our studio guests for this opportunity for making can talk to we about human rights abuses in the nation. If indeed then they work towards the rights of citizens then or they work against them. So una we send una text message one able read. Apologies. Tomorrow we go try for leave towards that. And so the producer of this program, the studio engineer, and all the one that we make them possible. Plenty thank you. Good morning. Back to una and Tata. My name is Elizabeth Kefwegembe.
Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation salon.
We now independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize, and inform. Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey here so for talk, but waiting they happen. Political discussions.
You for know about salon politics.
Religious messages, entertainment self no go left bien.
We no go left nothing bien no.
Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation salon.
This not the team them where we dey talk about
Sierra Leone political history.
defeating the lives of fake people.
Waiting they be na social media.
One-on-one interview, we go bring you all the hot topics.
Unity Broadcasting TV say,
and we let we self and better salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't
For
come.
developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation salon.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't
For
come.
developments now we country TV.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nation salon.
You go get we live on Facebook and our YouTube channel at Unity Broadcasting TV. And do ya not forget for tap the subscribe button. Same way so, if you want check now we website